Lord Sugar's firing finger was working overtime tonight when the man who threw down the gauntlet last week was this week thrown out.
You told me you were going to win. You didn't win. You lost. And I think on that basis, I've made a decision, and that is that you're also fired.
Please welcome Stephen Brady, ladies and gentlemen. When Gabby was fired, did you think, I'm off the hook, I've got away with it?
Absolutely not, to be honest. No, I definitely deserve to get fired 100%. In fact, I probably would have fired myself if I had a chance to do it.
Really?
Yeah, in all honesty.
You did manage to save yourself last week, but it did involve rolling the dice.
Stephen, you are this close to going outside that door.
If I was project manager again, I would definitely deliver another victory. And most importantly...
Definitely, yeah?
I would definitely deliver another victory. I'd actually put my... I'll put everything that I have on me right now on that.
You've thrown the gauntlet down. You are the project manager next, and I expect you to win.
I said, I bet you I'm project manager and I bet you I win, and he took the bet.
You lost.
Are you normally a gambling man?
Well, Grand National, the rest of it. Not normally,
Yeah.
I wouldn't normally place a bet of Lord Sugar. I don't know what that was all about, but obviously I was a man in a position that I thought, you know, I could potentially go here. And obviously it didn't pay off, but I certainly don't regret doing it.
Karen, when you were in the boardroom for that moment, did you think his goose is cooked?
Well, I think you were right on the edge of going that week, and it was really, honestly, probably the only thing you could have said that kept you in, and you got that extra chance, and unfortunately, it didn't work out for you.
Toby, what do you think?
Well, I mean, I thought it's you can always, when you run a business, you can always take risks. But if you had a chance to take the risk or not take the risk, maybe you should have taken the choice not to take the risk because it's too big.
Let's see how the task unravelled for you.
Yeah.
I'm so positive today.
Oh, I feel a bit of pressure, I've got to be honest with you, Ricky.
I'm so motivated, I can't wait to get out, I really can't.
It's an absolute nightmare.
You had a house available to you out in the countryside, but I heard that you thought it was too far to go.
This is a huge decision, Gabrielle, here. Do I send him to Tring, or do I send him, no, just to places around London and maybe get him somewhere 3 or 4 destinations?
I mean, it's a big mistake, that.
Bloody hell.
You were running around like headless chickens. Well, the golf place, 7 units.
Where's he gone?
He obviously made a right mess of this. The figures tell me that.
Bloody hell.
To what extent do you blame the fish? It seems to be a theme that's emerging over the course of it.
Well, if I could have blamed the fish, I definitely would have tried. I'd tell you that for a fact.
You'd have deflected it onto
I would
the
have
fish.
the fish would have got it for sure.
Should you have gone to the health spa, whatever the...
Yeah, I still regret that. I think that was the fundamental mistake in the task for me. So, you know what? It's like a football match for me. I'm a massive fan of football, and obviously, well done to West Ham Karen this week. Brilliant. Big fan of football. And I approach the tasks and I approach the boardroom as if you're playing a football match, and you give 100%. You give everything you've got right to the end, and win, lose or draw, you shake hands and move on. And that's how I approach the entire process, to be honest. And you make mistakes in life, but if you make mistakes, it means it's obviously a result of trying. And I've never seen anybody who's made no mistakes. So I'd always do that, and I obviously have regrets, but for sure I gave 100%.
OK, fair enough.
Can I just say, because you said at the start of this, I don't know if anybody noticed this, but it was a very telling thing. At the very start of the episode, you said, I'm going to give 110%. And at the end of the episode, you went, I feel I've given 100%. You were actually discounting yourself.
I got so immersed in the task. You're absolutely right.
I think that the tone was set, and the pressure was on from the minute. I know you see you there putting your tie on, I'm positive, and it's almost like you're trying to convince yourself because you know you've put an enormous gauntlet down and you've said you're going to win, and then you can see very quickly the panic starts to set in and the headless chicken thing starts going on and the structure goes out of the window and the pressure starts mounting.
I think that's where it would have helped if your team or if you running the team from the start would have made more of a plan, right?
Yeah.
Because I think that what we saw on the show was that the other team took much more time to actually plan and set out what business are we going to go to visit, and your team ran out very quickly. And then when you came to making the decision, you made it under pressure, and you didn't have the plan, and you hadn't made up your mind: should I go? Should I not go? So that under pressure you take a wrong decision. So I think that more planning would have actually helped.
Yeah, it was very much quantity versus quality, and the nature of the business that I'm in, from a manager sales process, if you like, it's all about volume and quantity, and I've taken that on board into this particular task. If I could do it again, I would definitely focus more on the quality of the products that I take.
You were slippery at times. You did deflect away. I mean, did you think of did you work out how to do this? Did you?
No, but actually, at times you're in there and absolutely you know you're in the wrong. And there's many times when I thought, you know, that's actually more my mistake than potentially someone else's. But, you know, I'm not going to essentially sit there and say, as you say, you know, my fault and on the way I go. I'm certainly going to try to make the most of that particular situation. However, it meant a lot to me. I wanted to win, and I'm competitive. And that, I guess, is something that will always come to the fore when you're in a boardroom situation. But for sure, I wasn't always in the right in the boardroom. I tried to make the best of the situation, the tools that were given at that time, you know.
Yeah, you deflect blame in the boardroom. You don't like when other people do it to you, though, do you? You go, yeah, all right, yeah, stick to what, talk. But talk about yourself. Talk about yourself. Don't talk about me. Don't talk about me. That's my job.
Where did specifics come from? That was...
Well, I think life's too short to generalise, you know.
I have to say, I was really disappointed in the boardroom with you, and particularly the way you dealt with Gabrielle. I was really disappointed. In the very first task, when I was following you, the team went a bit astray, and you really rounded everyone up. You seemed like a really good team player, get the best out of people. And then I saw a completely different side to you in that boardroom.
I think what you did there potentially is underestimate the path dependency of being in the boardroom once, twice, and the third time, and of being condescending and passing kind of the blame to other people. The first time, the second time, people are going to remember. And the third time, actually, Ricky would step in and actually point this out, right? So I think that if you would have kept in mind that at some point you're going to lose the dressing room, right? If I take it back to football, then you might have done it, right? So,
you did deflect stuff onto Gabby. I mean, she gets a specifics comment by the I wanted, and you did get called out by Ricky on this one.
At the end of the day, what did you do apart from go along with me?
Come on. This is the most passionate, and I like it, honest to God, this is the most passionate I've seen it throughout the whole process. If you were like this on the day, we would have got a better result, and that's the truth.
You know, he was so indecisive. One minute we're doing this, one minute we're doing that, chopping and changing.
Focus on yourself. I think you performed to your capability. Just focus on yourself.
No, can you let me finish, please?
Yeah, of course, but
all right,
it's about you.
Yes, can you let me finish?
Steve, stop being so condescending. Let us speak.
I think Gabby may be the one to give the right to reply there. Gabby, did you find that difficult, that's the way you're being dealt with there in the boardroom?
He's a lovely soul, aren't you, Stephen? Really lovely. But seriously, be specific. What did I do wrong?
I can't think of anything right now, actually. Yeah, I mean, let's be honest, Gabby is in all seriousness, genuinely is a fantastic person. And watching it back now, it's actually quite difficult. It really is difficult to see that because, you know, I actually genuinely like Gabby as a person. And Karen's right, at the start of the process, you have a lot of energy, and as it goes through, you become more and more tired, and perhaps your decision-making and the things you say and do become a little frayed, and I think that was certainly showed up there particularly.
And a bit desperate.
Yeah, but...
All right.
More of a message, I'm afraid. The candidates always enjoy coming up with nicknames for each other, and they found one for you very, very quickly. Let's have a look at this.
Stephen looks like Inspector Gadget.
We always say he's Inspector Gadget.
Everyone's calling him Inspector Gadget.
Inspector Gadget! I kind of imagine gadgets coming out of him all over the place.
He's going to get a fist coming out of his jacket, a helicopter coming out of his head.
Inspector Gadget. Inspector Gadget.
Who did you particularly get on with, by the way, in the of the candidates?
Actually, I was going to say Gabriella, but you might not believe that. Adam, for sure, Azar, Ricky and I were very close. Obviously, in the boardroom, those friendships went aside temporarily. But for sure, temporarily. But for sure, Adam, for me, was quite a close confidant in the first few weeks, and Ricky in the latter weeks.
OK, cool. Let's hear what Lord Sugar and your former colleagues have to say about you, Stephen.
What I liked about Stephen was that when he was in losing teams, he had this ability of summarising very, very quickly, and he was right most of the time. He was also quite good at putting the blame with other people. But in this particular task, he was out of control, he panicked.
Oh, my.
He did tell me, Ricky, I do feel the stress, I'm really, really pressured. His words were, I don't want to be fired. It wasn't great to hear that from your project manager. It sounded like he'd given up a little bit.
He threw down the gauntlet to me and said, make me project manager and I will win. Well, he didn't win, and that's why I fired Stephen.
What's your reaction to that?
Absolutely spot on. All in all, I deserve to go this week and potentially last week. And obviously, Lord Sugar is not... His opinion is obviously worth a lot to me, and there's no way I'd disagree with what I've just heard there, no way.
Now, we've heard what our panel think. Now let's hear from some famous faces at this year's RHS Chelsea Flower Show.
Out of the boys, I think it's going to be Nick for me.
He is such a pretty boy, isn't he? I don't know if I'm allowed to say that.
He's clever enough to make it, but he's nice enough to make it.
You know.
This year, I think, has been excellent.
Ricky, I think he's got a lot of integrity, and I think he'll get a long way, very well with Lord Sugar.
Out of the guys, the one person that I have got respect for is Adam.
Adam and his hideous meatballs.
He's really passionate, he tries.
I think I'd like to see Tom in the final, actually. I find him a very pleasant sort of guy. Jade has a voice, I'm afraid, that really annoys me.
I'd like to see Jade in the final.
I hate to tell you this, but you're fired.
You're fired.
You're fired.
You're fired.
You're fired.
Now, for your vote, Toby, do you think that Lord Sugar did the right thing by firing Stephen?
Yes.
Karen?
I was there, so... I'm sorry, Stephen.
Karen, I wasn't.
Ed?
Yep.
OK, let's turn to the audience. You know how this works. If you could hold up red for fired and green for hired. I will say, I think I know where your family are sitting. That'll be fired. All right, you can put down the cards. Now, we can't let you leave without a token of appreciation, Stephen, because you have supplied us with some fantastic moments, as we said, over the course of this run. We just showed the many things we thought about. I think can we bring that on there? It's a special... Inspector Gadget coat. This arm is for mopping. That, in case you can't reach anything. That is a good place to store hula hoops. This is the actual schedule of the Edinburgh bus tours. If you're ever in Edinburgh again, I think you might miss one. And my favourite, just in here, secretly in here. What's this we have in here? What's this? Oh, it's a little Italian dictionary. That's for you to take away at the top. You made it to weekend, Stephen. Here are your highlights.
Come on. Success for me is the man in the mirror. With the hoop, you're going round. Not as easy as it looks. Excuse me, let's do it one more time.
Actually, my strengths are in selling.
Jack is a friend for life. I guess I know how to influence people.
Are you a friend for life, Jack? Yeah, absolutely, especially with you.
Zombie! I am memorable. Thank you for taking the time to listen to us today. Whoa, blimey.
What do you think we won, guys?
Well, I think we showed some fox cunning, Tom, to be honest.
When Stephen tries to be funny, he's not funny, and when he's trying to not be funny, he's funny.
Well, I'm proud of my jokes. Guys, talk to me.
He's someone that your mum and your gran would love.
You might be angry.
He's a killer in the boardroom.
He's a really nice guy.
What's this called? Give us a name for it. Meatballs? I enjoy life. Thanks for your time. That's the bottom line.
Ladies and gentlemen, Stephen Brady. And that is it for tonight. Thanks to all of my guests. If you think you've got what it takes to be Lord Sugar's business partner, then go to our website at bbc.co.uk/apprentice, where you can find details of how to apply for the next series. If you've got a brilliant business idea, there's a £250,000 investment at stake, so give it a go. Next week, the candidates have to create an affordable luxury product to pitch to industry experts, but who will have reached their sell-by date?
Hopefully I'll stick Jade with you, mate.
Here's the bad news.
Sweet thing. Wild thing.
As soon as you all opened your mouths, it started to go downhill. Coco, Coco Cho, Cho.
It sounds a bit cheap.
Chocolate bar, as in chocolate bar.
No, adult magazine.
Gobbled it all up.
Wow. Getting a bit more youthful when I'm doing that.
You win the task, you don't get fired.
They failed.
Yeah, that was tough.
And as we approach the end of the series, there's an extra programme to watch this week called The Final Five. It's on BBC One at 10:35, Tuesday the 29th of May. I'll be back at the same time next Wednesday. Good night.